I know it's been like forever since I've done a video, but life has been happening, and so here we are today. So today's video is going to pretty much be about consistency in my business, meaning these are all of the things that I do that I have consistently done that has worked for me. Um, Again, now when you watch these things, please understand that if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. I'm not necessarily saying, hey, do this because it works for me. No, what I'm saying is this is what works for me, so this is what I'm gonna do, and this is what I do to keep my business going. So to answer probably that question, yes, I have really bad months. I have months when I don't get any sales. I have months when I don't reach my goal. I have those months like everybody else do. Some people are always just on a natural high. I've been on that high. It's the great roller coaster ride ever. But there are times when that doesn't work for me. So a couple of things that I do that I keep a constant is my mailers, my Scent and Woman of the Month flyers. Now, keep in mind that there are times when I do not send it out. Like right now, I think I have 4 months or so of mailers, like of the Scent and Woman of the Month flyer that I did not send out. So much has happened between my daughter graduating high school, my daughter going off to college, my daughter being in college, me adjusting, has literally took like a toll. But be that as it may, is I'm still doing my mailers. So sometimes you get bigger mailers, sometimes you get standard mailers, and so forth and so on. But one thing that I can say is that my mailers has helped me get business. My mailers has helped customers remember to order, not necessarily what was sent to them, but to remind them to order in general. So that's one thing. I always do the Scent and Woman of the Month. Now, I can't show you the ones that I have right now because those are already packaged up. But I can show you the ones that are not packaged up, and I think this is one of them. So yeah, this is just an old flyer. Scent and Woman of the Month does not have to be anything special. Literally, what I do, and again, this is what I've been doing as a constant because I get the Scent and Woman of the Month delivered every month, is I take the flyer, I label it, obviously. Pretty. And this one just so happens to be a wax sample because this is obviously February's. So, and this is a hand delivery. A lot of my hand deliveries, when it's cold, are wax. My mailers are always felt. And then just a label, and I think I stamped the back. Everything, and then it just goes into a just a little baggie. I might add some little like crepe paper or confetti or whatever, and I hand it out, or I stick it into an envelope and I mail it. As the seasons change and the months change, I change up how I package it, just because I want my customers to always know they're going to get something new. They're going to get something fun every month from me. So this was just one that I put together. Let me actually show you one that I actually did deliver, if I still have it open. Yep. Okay, I got it. I usually am better prepared. So this one is October. Very simple little goodie bag from Dollar Tree. I took a label and I wrote my sister's name on it. This is my sister's. This is, I think this was September. I remove this and I put their names on it. And this is just a regular party bag. Again, Dollar Tree. You see how the difference is in a month? My customers look forward to the fun that I give. So every month I try to get a different bag. Again, that's the constant. We're going to talk about things that I do that are constant in my business. So one thing I always do is I send out my mailers. The next thing that I do that is a constant in my business, and I'm always enrolled in the scent and warmer of the month. If you can afford to do both, do both. Do scent and warmer. If you cannot afford to do both and you can only afford to do the scent, you cannot do just the warmer of the month. It's either scent and warmer or just scent. The scent, I believe, might be about $30 a month. I can't recall that one because I only did that one time. That has helped with my PRV. What does that mean? How does it help? It's something that is basically automatically done for you, and you get the product. And what do I do with all that product? I make my samples for my customers. Now, let me put a pause in that whole thing, because someone's going to say, you have such a large customer base. How do I keep up with everything? Literally, it's separated between hand deliveries and mailers. My hand deliveries obviously don't require a stamp, and I have less hand deliveries than I did because I just revamped everything, and some of my hand deliveries have now been switched over to mailers, so yay me. But it is what it is. Now, you have to realize that we're working a business. So I've been doing this for about 3 years, and if you've purchased from me but it's been like some time, I may or may not remove you. One thing that I learned is no matter what, you keep doing it. And it becomes like second nature when you do it. So when I don't do it, it actually throws me off, because then I don't remember the last time I sent out a mailer and blah, blah, blah. Like, as you see, my sister has not gotten her mailers in 2 months, because now my sister is also being transitioned over from hand delivery to mail, because it's just easier that way. Our schedules conflict, and it's just easier that way. So boom, scent and warm of the month, sending out those flyers. Another thing that I do that is constant in my business is every time I get that email that someone has ordered, I instantly send them a thank you. Now, if they're up shopping really late at night and I don't get the message until in the morning, I'm obviously not going to send them that message early in the morning. I wait until normal business hours, which is usually right before I start work at 8:30. So I might send it on my lunch break, or I might send it on my way home from work or something like that. There's always a happy medium for me. So I always do that. I always send a text when I get the text or the email that their order has been shipped. Very simple. My first text goes, thank you so much for your order. I really do appreciate it. Second text goes, yay, your goodies are on the way. Then the third text comes from Amy. And that is when it's basically saying, hey, by now you should have received your list of products. How did you enjoy them? Blah, blah, blah. Let me know if you have any questions. That is literally what I do on a regular basis. Another constant in my life is going live. Going live has literally boosted my sales tremendously. I first started going live last year, right around spring break time. So early March. I was bored and I wanted to see if I can do it. I see plenty of people going live every day, and I literally only missed live for 2 days because I was dealing with personal family stuff, so I couldn't go live. But I try my hardest not to miss lives. Why? Because it gives you that actual interaction. I show products, I talk about products, I demonstrate products, I do unboxings, I do all of those weird and uncomfortable things. I do them on live. What else is a constant for me? Writing things down. To-do list for Monday, wrote everything down. To-do list for today, wrote everything down. I have Post-its. I have things stuck on my calendar. I finally changed my calendar too. I even have things that I need to do for my daughter. Like, if I don't write it down, I am not going to remember it. And y'all see this calendar right here. There's a calendar right there. There's a calendar in my room. If it's not written down, it does not happen. My brain does not work like that if it's not written down. So a constant for me is writing things down. Even, it doesn't have to be something like, this, or even something like this. Like, it doesn't have to be any of these things. Whatever you choose to do, get you a book, like a goals journal or a composition notebook, or I don't know, a pack of Post-its or something. I don't know. Something that you can write on, right? You want to be able to write it down. Now, when this is going to go, it's going to literally go on the other side of my desk. So that when I come into my office and I know what I have to work on, I'm going to just dive right into it. And I usually set a time frame. So writing notes, writing down things, and sticking to a time frame. My time frame is usually an hour. If you work your business an hour, I call it the power hour. You can get a lot of work done in a power hour. For me, I do an hour during the week because I'm just getting off of work. So I'm exhausted, but I have my job and I have my business, and I have to work them both if I want them both to work for me. So yes, I usually do a power hour to about an hour and a half. I do not go over 2 hours. Why? I will be mentally exhausted and I will start to make mistakes. And that is something I don't have time for. So generally, I will write how long I'm going to take on these. So Mondays is usually going to be literally an hour. I have to get it all done in an hour. One thing that I did learn is that you set a timer. From the time you start to the time you want to stop. Set an alarm. I don't care what you call it. Set it. And when it goes off, you stop. If you are not done with your list, you shift it to the next day. You stop where you are and you just shift it to the next day. Leave yourself an extra sticky note and say, well, hey, I stopped here. Like for me, for example, prime example, and this is a constant because I always write things down. I literally am doing my YouTube video right now so I can check that off my list. Literally, the only thing that I did not do was 9, which was make samples. I have samples already made. And which was 4, which was get ready for next month with my sale goals and my team goals. Those are the only things that I didn't do. So guess what gets shifted into tomorrow? Be realistic with your goals. Setting goals is another constant. So let's recap before we jump into setting goals. My constants are my mailers. My constants are my set and warm of the month. My constants are my going live videos and my YouTube videos. And then my next constant would be writing things down and setting limits. Writing things down and setting limits are majorly important in this business. So tomorrow's task is only going to be set for an hour. And I'm going to write that down because, like I said, I will go over my hour, 1 hour time frame. Okay, so that I know tomorrow's task is for an hour. Tricky part is, when am I going to start? I usually start when I get home. I try not to do it after I eat dinner. Because on Mondays, again, very long days for me at work. So, am I going to literally put these things that I did not do on tomorrow's and I'm only giving myself an hour? I could, but I'm not. These things that I did not do will probably shift to Tuesdays. It is not called procrastinating. It is not called anything other than priority shifting, which would be something else we'll talk about. My final constant that I can say, and I'm going to say that this is going to be my final constant. And again, these are things that work for me. My final constant is making samples, giving out samples. I do suck at follow-ups, so I'm working on that. But making samples and giving out samples. I travel with samples, especially if you travel. OMG. Traveling with samples are vitally important. I usually keep about 4 already made sample packs in my bag. Does not matter where I'm at, who I'm talking to, or anything like that. I always have something always ready. Why? As much as I brand and as much as I talk about my business, and apparently I don't talk about it enough, but that's another subject for another day. As much as I brand, as much as I talk about my business, I did not know how important it was to keep a sample on you. Have you ever been out and about and somebody was like, oh my God, you sell Scentsy. Do you have a sample? Not even do you have a sample, because most people are not that bold. Do you have a business card? I always, 9 times out of 10, have a stack of business cards. And I just made new business cards because I was going out of town. And I'm basically done with all my other business cards. 9 times out of 10, the world will ask you for a business card. I always feel like if I can do one better. And I always feel like I can do one better by providing you with a sample. Sampling is very, very, very easy. Sampling doesn't really require a lot. Prime example. Remember I talked about the scent and warm of the month? Or just the scent of the month? We're just going to talk about the wax itself. You can make felt samples. You don't have to get the fancy felt from the consultant store. You can literally go into your nearest craft store, buy something that is called stiff felt. Cut out whatever shape you want it to be. I did mine, and I believe I have more. I don't know. But I did mine in like 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Nope. My rectangles were 1 inch by inch. So they were pretty standard size. I did not want them to be too big. And I just cut them with my hand and a pair of scissors. Or my witchamajigger. Either way. And you always have that. You would always get your labels and all that fun stuff, and you would hand them that sample. Why does that show something different? Because the only thing they asked for was a business card. I have now given you product, talked to you about the business, so forth and so on. So now you're intrigued. A constant of mine is making sure I have enough samples available. Because I am always on the go. I am always on the go. Whether it's work, whether it's something, I'm always on the go. So with that being said, I always have to make sure I'm prepared to get new customers. I'm prepared to meet new people. I'm prepared to do the things that I have to do to make it work. And having samples and sampling is also very relaxing. I don't know if you ever made samples, but sampling is very relaxing. And with that being a constant for me, it's also helped my business. Again, you're not going to get that instant gratification that you might want or you might think you're going to get. It's not going to happen. And if it does happen, congratulations. That does not 9 times out of 10 work for me. My customers remind me, hey, are we getting our mail? So that also helps me. So the things that I do are the things that I do. Again, do what works for you. I have been in this business for about 3 years. So I'm trying to maneuver to where it makes sense and it fits my lifestyle and it fits what I'm able to do. With my day-to-day life, period. I used to live through other people, and these are people who have been in the business 10, 11 years. I've only been in the business for 3. So where I've come from, where I've started to where I'm at now, I've excelled tremendously. And that is because I find these constants and I keep up with them. I try my hardest not to teeter away from it. But there are times that I do. Like I said, I'm human, so there are times that I forget to send out the mailer for 3 months. With that being said, that happens maybe once or twice at best. It's never something that's taken place more than twice, ever. But once you get into the swing of things, you'll kind of see that, hey, things do happen. Life does happen. I have someone who tells me, if you don't mail it, oh well, forget it. They'll get it when you mail it the next time. And if you don't mail it again, hey, oh well, they'll get it when you mail it the next time. I no longer stress over those kind of things. Stress-free is the way I try to run my business. Stress-free is the way I live my life. With that being said, find a constant in your business and go for it. And then build from it. And then build from that. And then build from that. Why? Because no matter what your business is, it doesn't have to be, even if it's not Scentsy, find a constant. These are the constants that work for me. My biggest constant is writing things down. That is absolutely my biggest constant, is writing things down. If I do not write it down, I am not going to remember it. If it is not set in my phone as an alarm, I am not going to remember it. So, go ahead, find your constant, go grab your pen, go grab your paper, and sit down. Give yourself about 15 to 20 minutes. Give yourself 30 minutes to write down what you want to achieve, how you think you're going to achieve it, and then write down the first 2 things you need to do to start achieving whatever it is that you want to achieve. And we'll check back in later. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to do another video because we'll see. And it's definitely not on my to-do list though. But those are the constants in my business. And again, this works for me. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. If you need to tweak what I said, if you have a question, please ask me. There's no shame in my game. I'm human. I make mistakes. So we're going to just be real and honest about it. So yeah, that's me and that's today. So y'all have a blessed one. Bye-bye now.